There is no place for sympathy or humanity in geopolitics. It is just about interests, increasing influence, and expansionism. The current situation revolving around Sri Lanka is the best example of this. The Rajapaksa brothers took unlimited loans from China, which resulted in the decline of Sri Lanka's economy. Increasing debts, corruption, lack of planning, and immature decisions led to higher inflation. This has led to widespread protests in the country. In order to escape from the wrath of the public, the Rajapaksa brothers fled the country and Vikram Ranasinghe became the president of Sri Lanka. He is currently working on securing an IMF bailout to restructure the country's economy. India, which is a close neighbor to Sri Lanka, gave billions of dollars and is still supplying the basic amenities to its people. But how did the island nation repay its debt to India? By giving permission to a Chinese spy vessel to station in its country for a few days? Despite India's objection, Sri Lanka sided with the Chinese and let the vessel station at the Hambantota port. There is no doubt that India couldn't convince Sri Lanka, but is it a diplomatic failure? To put it plainly, no. Because China is far richer than India and has a higher level of influence on Sri Lanka compared to India. Apart from that, China gave huge loans to Sri Lanka, and since it failed to repay them, they gave Hambantota port on lease for 99 years. So, in a way, Sri Lanka couldn't stop the Chinese vessel even if it wanted. Another reason is Sri Lanka is currently looking for an IMF bailout. In order to secure it, the island nation needs the dragon's help. Sri Lanka's 10% of the foreign debt is to China, and the dragon country has to restructure its loan process. This is how the China won over India in the latest geopolitical tug-of episode. This is definitely China's victory, but it is not India's defeat. Rather, India should see it as a lesson and learn from the latest experience in making its move in the future. Despite not being as rich as China, India is doing everything in its capacity to counter China in a geopolitical shadow war. India is currently working on conducting navy drills in the South China Sea with Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia. China has territorial disputes with all these countries in South China Sea region. So, conducting navy drills with these countries will definitely spook the dragon. Apart from these countries, India is also conducting drills with Australia, which is currently facing similar problems to India. China is encircling Australia by investing in its neighboring islands. This did not go down well with Australia and is doing everything in its capacity to stop the dragon from stepping foot in its area. India is doing everything in its capacity to counter China. It is arming those countries to defend themselves from China's aggression. India is also curbing China's influence in the country, which is showing a significant impact on the Chinese economy. But the fact is that India cannot be as aggressive as China due to its economic constraints. That doesn't mean that India cannot counter the dragon's expansionist agenda. India is steadily becoming a regional power and is strengthening its economy and armed forces. At the same time, it is working with those countries which have issues with China. That's what the current dispensation is doing, and it's the reason why the dragon is spooked against India's growing influence. At the end, what happened with Sri Lanka is not a failure but just an experience to improve our moves to further strengthen India's influence in the region and around the world.
Please subscribe to Nationalist Hub English channel for more interesting videos, and don't forget to like and share this video. Nationalist Hub, it's a news revolution.